All right, hey, we're going to do a great episode today. This is going to be this is a special occasion. It's a special occasion, obviously, Richard, because this is not only our first live show, but it's our first guest that we've ever had on here. So we actually don't know how this is going to go.
It's going to go great.
Uphill from now. What are you talking about?
Yes.
It's straight uphill from now.
Man,
so, Nate, we've talked over the last couple weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks, that about guests and getting guests in.
Yeah.
And one thing that we both agree on, not because he's in the room, but one thing that we agreed on is Mark would probably be one of the best guests for retail.
Best.
Somebody that we can bring in that has a wealth of knowledge, that is good explaining things. He has a ton of stuff to talk about, and we're going to bring some of, not all, some of his ideas out, and we can honestly sit here all day and talk to him. So we're super excited. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is introduce Mark Maxwell. Thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I am going to do something a little different. I'm going to try to do something a little different, and that's kind of take a back seat. You work with Mark
We'll see how
lot.
that works out.
We'll see how that works out.
Well,
I purposely,
it's like me taking a back seat.
I purposely took my questions and threw them away to try to stay out. I unfortunately have a lot of words, but you guys have a great relationship. And I think it's very, very important that we sit back. I'm going to try to concentrate on you guys, try to keep Mark in line. But we have a lot of questions. Mark has a lot of history.
Yeah.
And I explained this to a manufacturer the other day is, yes, we sell guitars, but the goal is to be an educator. We want to educate. We want to educate our dealers and everybody involved. We have an educator right here.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is we want to focus on some of the techniques and some of the things that he's learned over several years, and we'll dive into that on how we can make music stores' days easier, better, give them a ton of ideas that will help their business and hopefully let them enjoy the music industry. So I'm going to sit back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll throw in a few questions.
Sure, absolutely.
We have a couple questions from people here, an audience that we have, and we'll ask a couple of those. But for the most part, I'm going to take a back seat. And again, thanks, Mark.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you guys.
And this is a great opportunity because Mark has been a great client and friend. We've had lots of conversations. Not only that, met a lot of people. Mark has been a huge cheerleader for MIRC. I don't know how many referrals that we have business that we have.
We actually get to do better. See, I'm already jumping in.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
We actually do more business by his referrals than he actually buys.
Probably so.
Yeah. We're gonna bring that up here.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, no, but Mark has been awesome over the years. When I came back here, you guys were already buying. So as far as I'm concerned, you've been back here with MIRC for over 7 years. I think over 8 years. And man, I'm telling you what, it's been a great ride. We've always referred back to Maxwell's House of Music, previously Mom's, as a great example. You've come up in tons of business meetings and sales meetings about, just about ideas that have come up, things that you're doing, especially as we'll dive into. You talked about the rebranding of your business. That's come up. We've talked a lot about that.
Sure.
Every time you always have always been a part of our events, like right now. You always come in town for NAMM. You send people here to the workshops. You've invested a ton of your time and effort and resources into MIRC, and therefore we've always wanted to invest our time and effort and resources back into you as well.
Oh yeah, you guys have been more than supportive, and it's interesting too because you guys have really. It's been fun to watch how you guys have grown, it's weird because on the front side of MIRC or me thinking about even looking at this thing at all, I didn't quite get it. You know what I'm saying? And then once I did, I told everybody about it. I really did. I've told music stores all around me.
Absolutely.
When they were struggling, I would say, hey, why don't you just check out what they do? Drive down there and just walk through one time and you'll go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so I think you guys are great. I really do.
Thank
I think
you.
what you do
We
is great. I don't
appreciate
like
that.
either one of you.
We understand that.
But you have a great enough product that I don't have to like you.
Yeah, you're forced to get
if
along
you're
with
making
us.
money, that's good enough.
It's yes.
So obviously, we we've enjoyed you over the years.
Thanks.
So when we thought about who could we have, like Richard said, who could we have our first guest, we were like, oh, we got to have Mark. Mark would be perfect. So even just the few times that we've talked, even just about business, we felt like, hey, Mark's probably got a lot to contribute to other businesses.
Yes.
You've been in business, for 34 years now? Mm-hmm. 34 years, and you work for multiple stores. You've branched out from your family business.
Yep.
You've started your own. So we think you have a lot to contribute to what's going on out there.
Yeah, my dad's always, my dad started as a drummer
Smart guy.
in Louisville. And I know, you love that.
Love it.
Why didn't you want to be a musician?
Thank you very much. You're so horrible. So my dad started as a drummer in Louisville and went out on the Dick Clark Caravan of Stars with his band.
Oh, cool.
And they were touring everywhere. And, had 3 kids at home and said, I got to do something else. So I came back and started working at music stores in Louisville. Started a pretty big store that's in southern Indiana with another gentleman, and then left that and started Mom's Music. Yeah. And more than 35 years ago. And so most of the stuff I know or learned was usually because of my dad,
Yeah.
There was this guy, and I don't know if it was just in Louisville, but there was this TV commercial, and they called him Mad Max. I'd give it away, but my wife won't let me. That was his key. That was his key phrase. Yeah. That was my dad. Yeah. Because my dad, I don't think he really cared much about making money. Yeah. I think he wanted to make sure that music kept going.
Continued.
And that was his whole thing. And it's probably the reason that Mom's Music survives in Louisville and that Maxwell's House of Music is in Jeffersonville. And literally, most of the stores are gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most of them are gone. It's just because it was, I'm telling you, in anything that you do, if it's about who walks in your door or who calls you on the phone, if you make it about them, you don't have to ever make it about you. You make it about them. Good. They will always make it about you.
Well, I'll
you
say,
care about the
good.
Musician, the kid that walks in the door, whatever it be. That's all you got to do is give. And I'm telling you, they're going to tell everybody.
Yes.
And you're going to get all the business in the world because of it. I think that we think it's about us being in this industry, me, Mark Maxwell, and it just not.
Yeah.
It's about whoever walks in that door or calls me on that phone, and I want to help them get to their dream, whether it's learning to play an instrument, whether it's to be in a band, whatever they decide that they want to do, and the reason that they're calling me. And I think, and that came from my dad. That just was always, he was always so into the musicians of the community, of the town.
Yeah.
And it worked well. So, and he's still in business, and I'm still in business.
Well, I mean, you've obviously been in this business long enough and seen how things have changed. Are you saying that that's something that's kind of been lost from the music store?
Well,
atmosphere?
I think that we have made it this thing that it's not, and I do believe it's not. It is about that guy playing guitar, or that guy playing drums, or that girl playing keys, or singing. It is about musicians making music, and the tools they need to do so. And if you create that relationship of really just caring about what they want to do, because it will carry you for life, lifelong friends, lifelong customers. And so I think that's where people have lost it. I think they think it's about selling this. And I got to be honest with you, I want to sell you this. I'll be glad to sell you this. If you want to support this and whatever that widget they used to call it is. But I look at it as more of this relationship has got to be a relationship.
Yes.
It's, for all the things, you care about those people, you invest in those people, you find out, is this just something they want to do sitting by the campfire? Is this something they want to go to college and become a teacher or whatever it is? And then you kind of help those people. If we will get back to that, no, I can't tell
and
you.
And there are a lot of stores that are doing that.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, heck yeah, there are. I mean, they're obviously they're surviving well because of it, or barely surviving, but they're still okay with the fact that they know that they're doing their part. There's nothing like a kid who's now a grown-up man that comes into my store and goes, "Man, you did this. You gave me advice." I mean, a kid called me from the Tonight Show and said, "Hey, I just want to say thanks. My band's playing on tonight. I hope you watch us."
That's killer.
And I'm like,
wow,
what a call.
Yeah. What a call. Yeah.
And it's just because I said, dude, you can do this. Was he great at what he does? No. I just said, be determined. Just you only have to learn these 12 songs playing this band. So go learn those 12 songs as best you can. Go do the audition. Keep your head up. Have a lot of fun. And he did, and got the gig, and went on tour, and then called me. The first week was on tour with Kid Rock. You know, wow. and then so this band did well and did its thing, and then again, that Tonight Show call was just really special to me. I just thought, wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, you know.
Well, you know, and a lot of what you're saying is, man, it's investment. It's a long investment in what you just talked about. Somebody who is young and now they're a grown adult calling you and saying thank you. Where you're right. People go, hey, I've got to sell a bunch of these.
Right.
So just real quickly, how can we help people connect the dots from, yes, I've got to sell this product,
yes,
but I've also got to invest in people's lives too. And maybe a lot of times there can be a disconnect because we realize life sets in. People have bills to pay. People have employees to pay. People have employees to fire that aren't doing good jobs.
No doubt.
But somehow they're supposed to all come back around and go, hey, I care about these people. I want to invest in their lives. I want to make relationships.
I think it's important that if you're a store owner, that you surround yourself in the store with people you like, right? And that you think are going to carry on the vision of whatever you're setting your vision.
Have you found that hard to do?
No, he's had a hard time finding employees that like him.
I think that's probably best said right there. No, I haven't. I learned to do this years ago, I think. And I've had a few things that, I just realized I hired somebody to work for me that it wasn't what I thought they were.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty frank about this stuff, but I like good, nice people. And I want to, if I have to spend 8 hours in a building with somebody, I want to like them.
Sure.
I want to know. I really do. I want to like them, and I want them to see the vision, and I want them to understand it and push forward. So that's my first thing. But then the second thing is that when the door opens, and there's somebody that walks into the door, my view of every person is, I have no idea what kind of day she had today.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this guy's going through. This guy may have lost his house this week. His kid's sick. He's sick. His wife just died. Whatever. I think about people as humans, right? And so and I love Jesus, so I think about it as if Jesus was standing there and that's me.
Sure.
I think, would he want to love on this person? And so that's been my whole kind of step. So as the person walks in the door, I'm thinking, man, that guy's had a rough day.
Yeah.
I just know it. This job sucks. This is his moment to walk in this door, whether he's taking a lesson or whether he's just coming to peruse the place. And they think at first, when they first meet me, that I'm a salesman because I'll ask them questions. I'll qualify them as a human. And I'll just say, hey, so you play? And, but I want to. So tell me your dream. Tell me what it is. You want to sit by a campfire? You want to play for your girlfriend? You want to be in a band? You want to go on tour? Tell me what it is you dream about, and let's talk about how we get you there.
Yeah.
So eventually I get to that conversation. I just think who's in front of you is what matters, right there. But then the secondary thing is that person that calls. And so if the phone calls in the middle of it, I'll say, hey, listen, I'm with somebody, but I promise you I'll call you back. And boom, get their number, and as soon as I have that moment, I'll call that person back and say, hey, because they're important to me too.
Yeah.
My dad always said, though, you don't get a job from somebody by calling them on the phone. You go to their place of business and you shake their hand. And so my first person, anybody that comes in the store, is who's going to get my time.
Yes, I agree.
And again, and there's people that are going to latch on and they're going to spend. I know people are out there naysayers. There's people that just waste my time. And I'm like, yeah, man. But if you can, they won't so much if you'll really kind of help focus them in some kind of direction.
Yeah.
Now, if they, and I think that's what I've learned to do is just care. I like people. I want them to do well in their life, and I'll give them all the advice they want, or they can tell me to go to hell.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, I've been walking in music stores for a long time, and I'll tell you, back when the guitar was, guitar was extremely popular. There's a lot of other music that's come along, but man, I'm telling you what, it was almost like the owners had this attitude, like, hey, thanks for coming into my store. I'm here, you're here for me. You're here to come into this. And it was never about this. Like, people I never felt like people wanted to to serve the customers,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
involved, find out what
Yeah.
their dreams are. What do you want to do? And now,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, Kurt Cobain comes along and pounds out 3 chords and 2 guitar solos, and everybody goes, "Oh, the guitar died," and you almost kind of wonder, well, maybe that atmosphere didn't die. Maybe it was going to die anyway. It just needed a catalyst to kind of push it forward because what you're talking about right now, in my opinion, I have not seen a lot
It's a lost
personally.
art. Yeah.
It's a lost art that's not in a lot of music stores that I've seen. I'm not discrediting all the people out there that run great music stores. That's awesome.
Hey, but I get my heart broken too.
Yeah.
I get my heart broken because I've spent a lot of time with somebody and advised them a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I'm doing the best job. And then they walk in the door and they open their case and go, "Man, check this out."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
bought this on Amazon.
and I had it right there on my wall, And I look at them and I go, and I'll say to them, "Hey, you know something? I have spent a lot of time with you. I have, because I care about you and I want you to do well. But man, I would love to have your support of your music business too, because if you don't support me, I'm not here to invest in you. I'm not here." And so you do have to, you can't just let it go. You do have to say, "Hey, I'm going to care about you and I hope you'll do the same for me." And the way I can do it is I can invest in you and help you figure out your dream and how you get there. And then at the same time, you can help me by, if you do buy a guitar, you give me first shot or something, even if I don't have it. And I'll say, there's lots of times I'll say, "I just don't do this product. I can't get it for you.
Yeah.
So I understand you have this desire for it. Go get it.
Yeah.
Be happy about that." And I have lots of people who come to me with that.
Yeah.
They want to buy it from me.
Yeah.
And they'll pay even more money. I have customers that'll say, "Look, I know it's $300 online. I'll give you $350. Why don't you just buy it online, bring it to your store. I want to give you the money. Swear to you." I have a customer right now I'm thinking of right now. He's bought 2 or 3 things to me that I don't even carry the line. Literally, I had to buy it from a musician's friend and bring it in my store, and he paid me $50 more to do it.
Wow.
Really?
Because he would not buy it from anybody
Good for
else.
him.
Man.
So that's the
loyalty.
kind of human I want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want that kind of human being to hang out with me. I want him to be my friend because I think he knows that I need to be taken care of too.
Sure.
I have a music store that propels your dream. It does, and so I want everybody to be happy and do their thing. And
Well, but I can only imagine sitting there going, somebody walks in and they open that case and they're like, "Hey, look what I just bought while it's hanging on the wall." Man, I would love to get that whole scenario on video, because you're probably like, "What?" I mean, like, they're probably
I just
like,
stopped.
"Man, that was a bad idea to bring us in."
Yeah. No, there was one guy that, woo, I was in a ripe mood, and I just said, I looked at him and I go, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Are you kidding me right now?"
It was probably crickets.
Oh yeah, he just sit there and looked at me. I go,
What do you mean?
You bought that from somebody else because you saved $30? I mean, seriously, how much time have I spent with you? I showed you that product in the first place. I showed somebody a product,
Yeah.
and that had never seen the product before. And a few months later, he came in to ask a specific question that I knew
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to ask if he didn't have one.
Unless he had it. Yeah.
And I just said,
And you
said,
probably
"How much
spent
did-
$50 in labor.
I did. I spent a lot of time with the guy, but you know something? He either walked away from the situation after I said, "Really?
Yeah.
I mean, really? Is this where we're at?" Because it would have, that $30 would have helped me through the situation. Sure, it would have. I'm a music store. I have to sell things. People have to sign up for lessons, and so I think people have to think about what they're doing. I mean, I find myself online. Everybody does it. It's too easy.
Yeah.
You sit in your underwear at home and dream and buy it and to know tomorrow it's going to be at your house. I'm not saying it's a different world.
Yeah.
But also, I don't piss and moan about it. So I'm not this guy who's going to go in and talk about it all the time. I just keep going forward. And I look at each person and go, "Man, this kid wants to be a guitar player. I want to make him a great guitar player. He wants to learn to be a studio guy. I want to get the right guy in his life to mentor him through his life."
Yeah.
And if indeed you do that, I believe it pays off.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes. Well, you
I
got
gotta
that
be honest, I'm not a
long-term
very
attitude.
good businessman. I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of the day, I'm just not a very good businessman.
You're a people person.
I am a people person, so I have another guy who's a businessman.
Yeah.
Who goes, "We probably ought to buy this because of this." And so he looks at numbers and stuff, and my wife is like, you don't even know what your business does. You have no idea what your business does. And I go,
You
no.
did marry up.
I did. Oh, you kidding me? I'm writing that song right now. It's called "I'm Married Up." But the fact is, I got to tell you,
She's writing one that said I married down.
there's no doubt. No, but she'll say that to me all the time. I can't believe you don't even know what you have. How much money do you have in the bank right now, Mark? And I go, I have no idea, honey. She goes, well, how much did this? I go, I have no idea. I said, I've been so I believe that I'm doing it the right way, that I don't really think about it, and I know that he is and she is.
Yeah.
And so I just, I don't even want to hear it. Don't tell me. Just tell me if I'm not doing well enough, I need to kick it into gear a little bit. Tell me that, so I'll kick it into gear.
Yeah.
So my wife will look out and go, kick it into gear every once in a while. She'll say, So she only comes to the store once a week. She can't even stand being there because, but she helps in the office.
That's all she says is kick it into gear.
It's time to do, your job.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
But you entrust your employees.
Oh, you kidding me? That I am 100. I trust them 100%.
You're here today because you trust them.
I do. You kidding me? Look, what could they do? Okay, one is I like them. I kind of understand them. I know I feel I can trust them. That's why I hired them in the first place. And so they want to do good they sent me pictures today, last night. I was gone all day yesterday from the store. And in one day, I had this vision outside that I wanted to do. When you walk up to our store, it's a really interesting outside vision that we did. You can go online to Maxwell's House of Music and just take a look at our outside.
Our first commercial.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and you can look at it, and you can see that there's some pianos in these pictures. And the pianos, we took these old pianos, these grand pianos, and opened them up and literally put a bed of flowers in them.
Oh.
Right? And had them outside, and over the last 3 years, they have
falling apart.
Oh my gosh, we painted them and we've done everything to try to keep them to survive. So they didn't survive. So my guys knowing that it would mean a lot to me because I'd said, I want to take those old drums in the back. I had some old drum sets, just pieces and parts, not even full drum sets. Mm-hmm. Cut the head out of the top and then put dirt down in with the head on the bottom. And poke a few holes so the water seeps through, and be creative and put some flowers in it, and it'd be a really cool way to walk up to the store. I literally last night I get 3 pictures in, and it's those 3 drum sets outside set up with all the flowers and everything loaded in it. It was like, what a cool thing.
Yeah,
those guys could have sat on their and done nothing, but they thought this is something that's a neat vision. I think they understand where I'm going, and to be honest with you, I don't think I'd have to show back up there again. I really don't. I could leave right now, and those guys would care enough and care about the people that walk in the door.
Yeah. We've invested in them. You've sent, how many employees have you sent here to the workshop?
Multiple employees. I want them to go. Look, here's the thing, self-education. This podcast is the best thing any music store person could do, ever. There's not anything better. NAMM has some stuff on their site that's really good, too. But to be honest with you, because you can get in your car, you can open up your podcast, you can drive down the road, and you can hear information about why someone's doing really well or things that you can do that you maybe not thinking about. My dad also said, I know there's negativity in what we're doing because it's not as profitable as it used to be when we were 30 years ago. And so it gets harder to do. I'm not saying it. But my dad said this, if you're not having fun, go do something else.
Yes.
I grew up with that whole thing of, if you're not having a good time, Mark, you need to go find something else that you want to do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would love for it to be more profitable. I'm trying to find ways to do so. But there's nothing in this world. I went yesterday and met with some publishers in Nashville because I like to write songs. Mm-hmm. And what I found out about publishers is that 20 years ago, a publisher would take a song, and their only role was to find songs and pitch them to artists. Well, that's become harder. So now a publisher is developing the artist, is dealing with their merch. They're doing all this stuff that other entities used to do, but they have to. They have to. So when you walk into Maxwell's House of Music, you will see there is gear for sale.
Yeah.
There are private lessons that we have. You can learn just about anything in our store. There's one of the rooms is a fitness room. It's called Maxwell's House of Fitness. We have a church that rents out our stage room on Sunday mornings. I'm trying to do anything I can just to keep everything to where it used to be 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Is it going to do any good to complain about it? I mean, no.
No.
So let's just stop complaining. Let's get a little positive about this and realize it's not about us. If you think it's about you, stop doing it.
Yes.
Actually, it's funny. I want to point out that in the notes that you gave us, about all of your accomplishments and everything, you put voracious songwriter. So
I did not put that. I didn't write that.
You didn't write this?
I didn't write any of that.
We had to look up voracious.
Yeah,
We didn't-
yeah. Well, now I know words.
The next line that just says "I am awesome." That's all
Well,
it says.
It does not
That was
say
the last
that.
bullet point on the top.
It does not say that, and I didn't write any of what.
voracious
I didn't write
songwriter.
any of my accomplishments. I looked to Jen, who works in the office, and she's like a visionary person too, and I go, hey. MIRC wants to know if I've done something good in my life. Throw down some crap.
Don't ask my mom and dad.
Don't
just write this.
No
up.
doubt. Don't ask my mom.
Right there, voracious songwriter.
Oh my gosh.
Does that mean vigorous, or he writes a lot,
I
or
think
what
it's,
exactly?
Yeah, we looked it up.
We'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, hey, going back to obviously you brought up NAMM. You are one of the top 100 dealers.
Yes.
So I actually got online to see if you were towards the top, two or
They don't
three,
do that.
But they put them in alphabetical
They do,
order. So
yeah.
you were actually in the middle of the list.
Yeah, and
So-
we're up for an award for something this year, and I'm not sure what it is,
What are
and
you up for?
I won't go there for it. I don't ever go to. I'm not much on awards. You know what I'm saying? But but Jen, who works in our store, is all about awards.
Will she be there?
And it's because she thinks that people on the outside perceive it as something that's great. So,
Some do.
So they do, and so I think a mom and dad look at it and go, one of the top 100 music stores in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to shop there.
Yeah.
And so I get the perception of what that is, and so it's nice to be named that. We've been named it 3 years in a row, top 100 music stores, but I think it's just because we're trying.
So absolutely, and that was actually some of the questions I wanted to get into.
Go ahead.
I wanted to know, first of all, the top deal of the year award is Friday night.
Yes.
At NAMM. So,
Uh-huh. I will never go. I'm not into it. I just won't do it.
Do you think you're going to win though?
Of course we're going to win. No, I don't think we're going to win. Come on. No. I don't. We're not. I don't think. I think you have to be we're not a big dealer. I mean, we have a 12,500
You're a
square
big deal,
foot,
though.
and we're a big deal in our town. We are a big deal in our town, but I've never really tried to be a big deal with the whole NAMM thing. I just serve. My card from last year, I just found one in my car. Each year we change our names on our card. What are we? And I was servant. So it said Mark Maxwell. The year before on my card, it was something that sounded like I was a big deal.
Well, this year it's voracious songwriter.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. But each year, and so last year I was like, so what am I doing in this? I'm serving people. And so I said Mark Maxwell servant. And I own the store, my name's on the store, and people think it's this thing, but I just am here to serve. I really am.
But it's a big deal. If you won that award though Friday night, it would be a big deal.
It's
You would
not
like that.
one. It's not going to happen because I just don't do enough numbers. I'm not a big deal. I don't sell a ton. I sell a ton. I mean, we do all right, but I'm just saying. I'm not. I don't look at myself like a. I don't know. I don't even care about selling stuff. Sometimes I do want to show people cool stuff that will help them do their job. So if I sell something, it's usually because I go, man, check out this guitar. Because it has a totally unique sound than anything you have in your in your thing. And there's amp, and it's a very interesting new amplifier. So I like to show off gear because gear gets you wherever you're going to go.
Yeah.
And so I love gear. Man, I love your warehouse out here. If somebody hasn't walked through this thing, what a fun walk.
Yes.
It's like you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
I hate it.
There's our second commercial.
Yeah. No, but it's true. I came here the first time and I just went, I am home. That's how I felt. The only thing you didn't have that I have in my store, you didn't have enough seats to sit in.
That's true. We don't have a whole lot of seats. I think we have 2.
Yeah, I think you do. Because
You're sitting in one.
But your warehouse is awesome, and it was just really fun.
Well,
to
hold
walk
on.
through.
Now, coming back to the NAMM stuff. The NAMM stuff.
Okay.
We love tangents, but the NAMM stuff. So, but I'm going to look at some of these things that they're going to determine the top dealer. And this is some of the stuff that my point here is this is stuff that you do well.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Just
I don't
jump
actually.
in.
The first one was best store turnaround. I wasn't really actually sure what that meant.
We're having hard times, and all of a sudden you said, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to change my. You can change anything like that.
Okay.
In that quickly, you can change anything in your life. And so if you are having a rough time with your music store, all you have to be is active. And your attitude has to change. So your attitude is everything walking into it. But literally, if you took the next week and you called every person that you've ever done business with on the phone, I do this all the time. I'll call somebody and just go, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "What?
Who is this?"
I said, "This is Mark Maxwell." No, I'll say, "Hey, it's Mark Maxwell."
Call, huh?
It's Mark Maxwell from Maxwell's House of Music. Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. What are you up to now? Nothing. No, are you still playing? I mean, what's your band doing? Like, I care about that.
Sure.
And people think it's some kind of weird thing, but I guarantee within 30 days, there's no other music store in the town that ever called them.
No way.
Guitar Center is not calling them on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay? So they're not calling them on the phone. I call the guy and say, "Tell me what's going on. Are you still playing? Are you playing with anybody? Do you want to play with somebody?" And they're like, within 30 days, every time you call somebody, they'll be in your store because you're the only son of a gun who cares for them.
Because you care for them.
I do, and so I'm like, "Hey man, are you still playing?" "No man, I'm in bad health, and I've got this going on." And so the best turnaround, all you got to do is turn your store around, is to care. Is to call a person on the phone and say, "I know this is weird. You think it's strange, but I'm not asking you to come to my store." They're going to come to your store. Yeah. Care about them, they'll come to your store. Just care about them.
So you got a great
Change
attitude,
your mindset. Mindset's
You got a
everything.
great attitude. So you might not win that category.
I won't win that.
Because you've already been turned around.
I've turned around a long time
So,
ago.
but best customer service. Somebody who's on this panel that's going to make some kind of decision is going to walk in Maxwell's House of Music and say, "Okay, customer service here is pretty awesome."
100%.
You think so?
Absolutely. Even though it breaks my heart every once in a while when somebody came in and then they set up a review and said, nobody took a time to talk to me. We try to just really, and I think it's sometimes because we're spending time with people. We're spending time here, and the guy comes in and said, "Dude, walk around, look at everything you want. Stick around because I'd love to talk to you," and that kind of thing. And then they get through, and I'm really busy with somebody, and my guy's busy with somebody, and then they hit the door. I've literally walked out my door, out to the parking lot to say, "I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to spend time with you. If you come back again, I promise you, my name's Mark. Here's my card. I don't want anybody.
Service.
It is customer service. I just want people to be happy. And so, am I going to win? No.
I'm going to say you got a good shot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I would vote for you.
I appreciate that. Go ahead. Next one.
So, best store design.
Oh, by far, we're the best.
Is there another store in the country that's got a better design than yours?
And we're going to bring
last
that up
year
in
we were.
depth
Wait,
next
so you
year.
got to realize that you're up for each one of these categories. So we were up for best store design last year, and a guy from down in New Mexico won, and he had a really unique store and really cool. I don't know, but it was a cool store, and so, but it wasn't as cool as ours. So I don't know what happened, but I'm going to tell you right now, you have never seen a store like ours.
Oh,
There's not a rep that comes in that walks in and goes, "I've never seen anything like this."
And we're going to go into depth on that, so don't give it away.
Yeah, don't give it away. I just want to go through these. Okay, so best marketing and sales promotions.
Horrible at it.
Horrible at it. You guys do social media. I've seen your YouTube videos.
Yeah, we do some stuff, but I still think it's the one thing that we don't do well. And also, I don't.
I've seen some of your yoga stretches for the exercise department.
Well,
the poses on,
I can't put my legs above my. No, I can't.
No way.
Go ahead.
So you don't think you're going to win that?
I don't think I'm going to win that because I think that we try, but I think we're so involved with the people in our store that we don't spend enough time marketing the people outside of our store.
But people should be doing that.
I agree, and I just don't have the in marketing, free marketing. We're doing okay.
Okay.
And paid marketing, not nearly enough.
Okay.
All right,
so we'll work on that.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think that's
all right. Well, this flows into the next one.
Go ahead.
Best online engagement.
No,
think you'll
we
win?
still no, we still don't have that. That's our. You're talking the two weakest points you've hit so far. Go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Music Makes a Difference Award.
100%. 100%. There's a kid came in our store. His arms only grew to here, with 2 fingers on each hand. We care. That kid can play the crap out of the piano.
Really?
Wow.
Like this.
Wow.
And he almost has to. It's like overhand. It's the strangest thing you've ever seen. But it's this kid. I just go in and say, "Dude, you are my hero. Like literally my hero. Like I tell his mom and dad all the time. Like your son has changed me. To I can't, to I can. And so...
inspirational.
Oh my gosh. And again, our education and the things we do in schools in the area, we really try hard. We really try hard. What you got next?
You're not going to win this one.
No.
It's Rookie of the Year. Best Emerging Dealer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not going to do that. So, hey, I'll say what. There's
No.
I don't.
We're not going to win. Look, I don't even care to win. I care to win.
I know you don't.
I care to win in my town.
Jennifer does.
Jennifer loves to win. Jennifer loves to win. She's so about that. She's like, this will really matter to people. I don't see it like she sees it. She's a mom. She was a mom of one of my students and came to me and had a high-paying job and said, I know you can't pay me anything. I love your store. Let me be here and work as much or as little as I want. And I pay her crap. She made so much money marketing for an eye doctor in our town.
Yeah.
But didn't love what she did. Loved the vibe of our store. And, my wife and I and her husband and her got along so well. And she was like, just let me come in and work. And I'm telling you, things have changed drastically since I brought her in. The female side of things into our man world, cave world has changed everything.
Yeah.
It was a smart move.
All right, so okay, let's jump into the next thing, though. I think that's all good. If Nam called me up today and said, who would you vote for, I'd say, Maxwell's House of Music. You not have to throw you into there.
I appreciate that.
Hat into the ring. But I'm
not worthy of it, but I'll say it. Go ahead.
So, but I've been to your store. So what I want to do is talk about real quick. You guys rebranded your store. You guys were Mom's School of Music, and then you went to Maxwell's House of Music.
My mom and dad have Mom's Music in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a great store.
Yes.
But I figured that my dad...
Also a dealer, top 100 dealer.
Also a top 100 dealer. Across the river from Jeffersonville, which is where I live. So the Ohio River splits us. They're on one side, I'm on the other. Hardly anybody crosses the bridge. It's a weird thing going back and forth. It's hard to get people to cross the bridge. I don't know why.
Okay.
So in southern Indiana, we're the thing. In Louisville, they're the thing.
Okay.
And we had really hard times in 2008. All that thing, that whole housing.
The downturn hurt.
Oh, it hurt us so. The worst thing that ever happened to us in the music business for us as a family was that.
Yeah.
But it split us into 3 groups. My mom and dad owned Mom's Music. I went and started Maxwell's House of Music, and my brother started a company called System Max Audiovisual.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to tell you, when I get together with my family, my dad's 73rd birthday was last Monday, we got together. And week before that or so was Father's Day. When we get together, it is a great time. Our family business really hurt us through 2008 on our relationships with each other. And so now I really enjoy the fact. I stand in my own mom, dad over there with my sister involved, and her son is involved at Mom's Music. But so Maxwell's House of Music came to be several years ago. I rebranded it because I wanted to do a little bit different thing than Mom's. And if you go into Mom's Music, it's a cool store. It's literally one of the coolest stores.
I haven't been in that one.
Oh my gosh. I only learned to do this because of my mom and dad.
Yeah, sure.
The uniqueness that they brought to the store, I just kind of put it times 10 on our store.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it is, but everyone always came into our stores and was like, "This is the coolest." Like in Mom's Music, this is the coolest place I've ever been to.
Okay.
And so when I built this big gigantic store that I bought for nothing, I got this building for nothing. I just really did my homework and spent a lot of time to plan and make this thing work. And but it's a cool store, and things have been okay. So.
Yes, Nate, you're going to talk about, and one of the questions you're going to bring up here in a second is rebranding. But one of the questions that we got from some of our guests sitting in here is rebranding. So I'm going to ask the question, and we can just sit on it for a second, and then we'll answer that as some of the other ones are. And the topic is rebranding. What is the purpose? And then also, when do you know, which I think is a great question, when do you know you need to rebrand?
Well, I think my mom and dad, Mom's Music has got an incredible name in our town. But I figured that my dad would probably want to sell it eventually. The store as a whole. And I thought, something, if he's going to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and do something different. Now, the best thing about it is that the last name, our Maxwell name, my dad has always been a drummer in our town. My brother is a drummer in our town. Yeah. I sing, and we've always been a part of bands in our town, so a lot of people know the Maxwell name. So I thought, well, Maxwell's House of
Okay.
Maxwell's House Coffee, Maxwell's House of Music. So we just talked about bunches of names and just decided we'd pick one. But then it was like this whole kind of development. So it's a house of music. Well, then we built a showroom that were all the places you've played music. So it's like a house. So you walk in to the front door, and it's an outside fire pit vibe with all the acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And this was cheap to do. That's why I'm talking about NAMM tomorrow. The way we did this cost me little money because we bought things that were, it was like, I bought a little teepee for $200.
Yeah.
I went down and got some free, some stones from the creek and built a fire pit and put a $69 little flamer thing in the middle of it.
That's right. That's in your acoustic section.
Yeah, exactly. And so
yeah.
it's in the acoustic section. And we went and got some logs that one of our customers cut up and put in there. So for hardly any money, I took a little corner area and made it feel like you're kind of sitting outside playing guitar.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then you walk in the showroom, and to the right is the basement. Because I grew up playing in my basement with the paneling. Boy, you can buy paneling cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We found this old couch to put in there. We put this old console TV. All of it was $5 or $10 a piece.
Yeah.
We designed a room that looks like it is 1972 in that
Yes.
room. Right?
No, real quickly. So a lot of people, I want to kind of preface the whole thing by saying that part of your rebranding is you guys, you had an older part, but you expanded.
We did. We
and
expanded.
then you took that expansion, and now you turned it into different applications for people to be able to play instruments in like different rooms.
Right.
different
So it's
settings.
like almost like it's a little movie set.
That's right.
It's so
It literally is.
It is. So
You
you
could
walk
shoot a
in.
scene from a
you
movie
could
there.
you could sit. You could do that, and you would think you're in somebody's basement.
Yeah.
And if you walked back 5 feet, you'd go, oh no.
Yes.
Here's the next one. In the next room you walk into, or it's just 3 walls.
Yeah.
But it's against the wall.
Yeah.
The next one's the bedroom.
Yep.
And the bedroom has a bed that we
yeah.
bought, and we did buy a new mattress. We didn't want to go janky on that.
I got this mattress for $5.
Yeah, no, we did get a new mattress.
Cover up the pee stains, throw a quilt over it. You know.
But we have this bed, and you know what the bed does? You go sit on that bed, and you plug into an amplifier, and you're playing that guitar, and it's just like you're in your bedroom.
Yeah.
How many of us spent all of our lives
I'm
sitting on
telling
the
you,
edge
this
of
is
our
brilliant.
bed?
This is brilliant. I remember when you were talking about this whole rebranding
Yeah.
and construction, and you're
Yeah.
like, Nathan, we're doing something that I've never ever seen before. And I'm sitting there going, what could you possibly be doing that nobody's ever seen before? And then I showed up, and I was like, holy crap, nobody's ever done this before.
Let me tell you your
So-
reps and the people that you have at your company. Some of them can be your best friends. Steve Howard's one of my reps from Yamaha, and he walked in, and I said, hey, we're going to take this I don't know how many square feet I have in it. 3,500 square foot room, and this is going to be our new showroom. He just looks at me and goes, man, just be super careful. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, I've seen people try to do this, and then they try to fill this room. Do you know how much gear it's going to take to fill this room? Mm-hmm. And so I went back and I said, to our whole team, Steve is concerned about how much gear we're going to have to fill the room, because really it was like a warehouse.
Yeah.
Huge tall ceiling. So here was this gigantic room, and we couldn't figure out how to fill the room. And then we started talking about Maxwell's House of Music. If this is going to be our name, why don't we just make it a house? Literally make it a house.
Yeah.
So you walk in, here's the basement feel to your right. The second room you walk into is a bedroom feel. The third room has basses in it. By the way, there's guitars and basses and amps in every room.
Yeah, hanging on the wall.
Yeah, the next room is the bathroom.
The bathroom, which I thought was good. There's
So we bought
toilet in there.
$100 clawfoot old tub, which we fill up with merchandise, right? $100. Inside there, I bought a brand new toilet, which we fill with candy, so you can walk in and get a Tootsie Roll out of the...
Yeah. Have you ever had a little kid try to go pee in it or something?
I have not had any kids sit on it or try to pee in it,
Okay.
but I have had people say, hey, thanks a lot, my kid puts their hand in our toilet now at our house. But
That's not a Tootsie Roll.
And you can see a beeline of kids when they walk
If
in the
somebody
door.
closes the door, you know you got a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see a beeline of kids when they walk in our front door, and they'll walk, I know exactly where they're going. They're going straight to the toilet.
Yeah.
They're going to get a piece of candy and go to their music lesson.
Yes.
So this little room looks like a bathroom, and so that was very inexpensive to do too. And even down to the flooring, like we went and found remnant flooring to put down the flooring, so that each room, like we had green shag carpet in the basement. The next room was, and then the bathroom had linoleum in it, and so then the next one is like a little home office, because lots of people are doing home recordings. We have home recording there. The next room is a garage. And let me tell you this too.
It has a roll-up door.
It does. It has an actual garage door on it. And I went to the garage company in town that has done my house and worked on my stuff, and I knew one of the guys and just said, "Hey, you think you could give me a garage door to put in here? I'll put up a plaque that you guys provided this garage door." And they're like, "Sure." Literally gave it, came in and installed it.
Oh, man.
And so you ask of your community, and you say, "Hey, man, I need this. I need a toilet." You got something that's got broken, it's not going to work ever for somebody. It's broken on the inside or whatever. You got one of those? Well, yeah, man. You think I could put it in there? I'll put a little plaque on it. It says, "Hey, this was provided by whomever, their plumber supply or whatever." So we did that throughout the store. It was like we just kept asking people, "Hey, you got this? You got that?" And so in our garage, so you go to the garage, it's for the drummers. Because think about it, people played. When I was a kid, we practiced in the garage, right? And so we made this little garage, didn't spend much money. We got some old tires, stacked them up. On one wall is all the rakes and all of the stuff you'd hang in your garage. My daughter's old bicycle she had is suspended up on the wall. We have license plates all over that wall of that thing, so it feels kind of like you're in a garage.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And then there's gear all around you. So there's drums mixed in with all this crazy kind of. The next room is a church, because we do a lot of church business, always have. And so it's just a little facade of a church with a light-up cross on the top of it, and you kind of just walk in this little, they're all, 12 by 12, not big rooms.
Yeah, sure.
They're just little views of a different place
of real life.
Of real life. The next one's a coffee shop. Because lots of people, so I have a little stage built in it with a little PA, a microphone, and you can sit there. And I always wanted to build a store that was, and this is what I did with this store. I knew I couldn't buy everything because I'm a little dealer and I don't have much money. But I thought, I like certain things a lot. And so I kind of wanted to be the sharper image. When you walk in sharper image, there's only like 100 things in there.
Yeah, like, I love this store.
But I love this store because they've picked the best product. I feel like that's what I do. I go in and say, what microphone do I think is going to be great in here? And what little PA system, if I was going to be doing this, would I put in this room?
Yeah.
And so I don't carry everything. I carry what I think is great. And so that's the second thing. I say, do you believe in this product? I'll ask each salesman. They'll say, man, this is really cool looking. I'll go, do you believe in it?
Yeah.
And you'll sell this product. Because I don't necessarily believe in it or don't believe in it, but do you, then we'll buy it, and that'll be your baby to sell. So, anyway, got the coffee shop in the middle of the room. The entire middle of the room is a living room.
It's got a Keurig in it?
It does have a Keurig in the coffee shop, so you can walk in and make yourself a cup of coffee.
Yeah. It's glorious.
It is a really neat thing. So that's just our showroom. So there's honestly,
what's in the back corner, or what's there's past the coffee shop? Isn't there something else, or was there?
Well, there's a full stage kind of built up too, so it kind of looked like it was a rock and roll stage. Like if you were going to play on a big stage, that was the big stage. But I'll tell you, my guys came up with this week. They're like, "Man, we need a kitchen."
Really?
And I was like, "We need a kitchen." And I swear to you, 2 days later, somebody came in and had a bunch of stuff that we bought from him. Yeah. And the guy goes, "Hey man, I got this microwave and this toaster. You guys can have that." So here we literally, we talked about it, and a few days later, somebody had a white microwave that was still in the box, and a white toaster. Yeah. So they were like, why don't we take the accessory area, because the accessory area has its own little vibe, because that's where the front counter is. Yeah. Why don't we make this like into a kitchen?
Man, that's cool.
So now we're on the search for things to put so that we'll actually have a kitchen, even though I don't know how many people are making. The bathroom was the interesting point, because everybody was like, "Oh man, I don't even know. We make music in the bathroom." Yeah, I'm like, dude,
come on, everybody does.
The first week we had it open, some guy walks in and goes, "Hey man, I love this bathroom thing. I'm going to tell you this. I was sitting on the John, my wife was in the tub, and I wrote that second song on that CD I just gave you." And I was like, I'll never listen to that song
that's right.
ever again like I did before. But man. So we just were trying to be creative on a budget.
Yes.
I'm not really spending any money. I wanted to create a place that you went to and went, this is cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There was a place in our town called Lynn's Paradise Cafe, and it was a little breakfast place that everybody would go to. And it was so unique. It was when you first walked in, it had really crazy things, kind of like a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
But it was crazy
Okay.
stuff. And it was fun little weird things. And you would go in there, and then you'd walk into the experience of their restaurant, and they designed the restaurant really great.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to create that same vibe because everybody loved to go to Lynn's Paradise Cafe, and they came to Louisville, they'd go to Lynn's Paradise Cafe. That's what they would do. And so I wanted to create that same kind of vibe that they walk in the door and do something interesting. And I tell people, if you're a baseball fan, make it a baseball store.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if you have something that's a passion of yours, and you want to design something, do that. How cool would that be?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
And
seriously.
that was actually one of my questions. Is kind of bringing it to people listening to this. Is
How do they do something great
How
and cool?
and what was kind of a little bit of your thought process of trying to? What are some things they need to think about?
That you need to give people places to sit. This is my big thing.
Yes.
So when we talked about doing the store, now I guarantee we have 20% of the gear in our showroom
Yeah.
that we would have had if we would have made it just a showroom.
Yeah.
So we cut down the fact of having to spend that much money to stock the place crazily, right? And being just overbearing with all the gear because we knew we didn't have the money to do that.
Yeah.
Spent a little bit of money making it more of an experience to go into. And the number one thing was how many seats can we make? We have a couch. You can sit on the toilet if you want to. You can sit on the edge of the bed. You can go sit in the office chairs that we've made. We have couches in there. I don't even know how many people. I should try that sometime. How many people can I sit in our store?
Yeah.
Because it's so comfortable that a guy comes in or a girl comes in and she sits down on the log bench that's sitting over by the fire pit.
Yeah.
And she sits on it and I go, hey, try this. She's sitting there playing that guitar. And I'll wait a few minutes. I'll go over and pick up another guitar. I could never do that if she's standing in front of me.
Sure.
And I've been I've always been in music stores where there's two stools in the entire place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So now it becomes this thing where they spend a lot of time in our store. And they say as long as you can keep them in the store and keep product in front of them, they're going to find something they want.
So sitting people down was a huge thing.
Oh my gosh.
That was a huge breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
I'm glad we're talking about this because one of the questions, and I'll bring it up and then we'll move on, is how do you keep customers in the store? And I think that would probably answer that question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Offer them a bottle of water. I got to figure this out. I buy water, and I buy good water. Sorry, and it's a 20-ounce bottle. There's 28 of them in it, and it's
purified water.
Well, no, I buy spring water, but I don't know the difference, so it doesn't really matter what it is. But I look at this. If you bought a case of water, I think I pay $5 for the case of water. It's good water. I don't know. I feel like it's good water. You don't know if it's good water. It's water.
And now you can have it in the kitchen with a refrigerator.
Yes. So I pay, not much money for a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Just like you do. How many people do that? I mean, literally, is my customer worth 25 cents?
Absolutely.
So, or 17 cents or whatever it ends up being. Walk in, and so there's water in my store. You want a coffee? Can I get you something? I want you to stay here.
Yeah.
I want you to get a piece of candy. I want you to go back for seconds if you want.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's so much kind of space in there where the living room is. We have a table, and moms will bring in food and just kind of open it and set it there.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, the only problem is I did gain some weight over the last couple of years, and I'm being honest with you, and it was only because people would bring in treats.
Yeah.
Because we just kind of get used to this being home. What do? You have treats on you have stuff on your counter at your house, and so there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. I can only imagine when kids are coming over for students, they want to come and hang out for a bit before or
absolutely
afterwards.
Do.
And
yeah. I have parents go, hey, I want to ask this before we do so, but we've got a thing to do today, and he really wants to come over to your store. We close at 5.
Yeah.
Don't be a minute past 5.
Yeah, pick up your kids.
We open at 10. Let him stay all day long.
Yeah.
Let him stay. Let him play every guitar I have.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll turn to his parents and go, I'll look at the kid and I'll go, hey, does he know how to tune a guitar? And I say, okay, so you want to stay at my store all day long? You have to tune that wall of guitars. And they're like, really? Like they get to do it?
Yeah, it's like,
they get to do it. And I'm
free
like,
labor.
I like it is. It's free labor.
Actually, so the one time I came to your store when you guys were doing the grand opening and the rebranding, so I remember I thought it was a big deal when we were there and you had all of this stuff going on. And I forget, I think it was in the second room on the right. So was that the bedroom?
Yes.
The bedroom. And there's a kid in there. And I remember you sat down with that kid. He might have been 6 or 7 years old. You asked him if he knew how to tune the guitar, and he didn't. And you showed him how to start tuning the guitar. And even back then, that was a couple of years ago, I thought, man, this is an attitude, or this is something that, man, you just don't. The owner of this place.
Yeah.
Is sitting down with a 6-year-old kid, showing them how to tune a guitar.
Yeah, tune a guitar.
And I'm telling you, it is. It's a lost. I don't want to say it's a
No,
lost.
it's not.
art,
I see it at other places too. And some of those people
people need to come back to that attitude.
Well,
over and over and over
it works
again.
for me. I don't know if it works for you. You may be all about the gear,
Yeah.
and a place like Sweetwater is all about the gear.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you though, their customer service, they'll call you on the phone. Hey, how's that piece working out? Mm-hmm. How is that piece working out? You don't even know who I am, and you're calling me on the phone, asking me how this piece is working out. That's good customer service. Yeah. So some people do it really well.
Sometimes I think they get lonely and they just want to talk to somebody.
It's possible they do get lonely.
That's why earlier he was talking about randomly calling customers. He was just lonely.
Hey, listen, if there's nothing going on, you know, if you're leaning, you're cleaning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there BSing. Hey, something needs to be cleaned here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather have somebody on the phone calling somebody saying, hey, how is that guitar working out?
Yeah, and actually, you know, I've heard that a lot of times. Some people go, man, things are so slow. What do we do? And I know a lot of times people gravitate to that old approach as, well, crap, maybe I need to get some of my old customers on the phone and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of like but why is that always a last-ditch effort to try to do
well,
something?
it is, and so that has to, but you got to flip all this around. You got to flip it all around and say, all right, so what are we going to do for our customer? Mm-hmm. What could we do? Let's think outside the box on this. I'm going to tell you this. Last Saturday, my mom and dad at Mom's Music in Louisville did a drummer's breakfast.
What?
Yes.
Man, I love them.
Wait a minute.
A drummer's breakfast?
Yes.
I want to be invited.
So let me tell you this.
Year.
So they invited everybody on every social media could and said, hey, we're having a drummer's breakfast. They got on the phone. They called every drummer they knew. Mm-hmm. People we hadn't seen in years were at the drummer's breakfast. It was such a community of, this is awesome. You're not asking them to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I know maybe I'm wrong about this, but you got it there, and you're praying they're gonna, because it keeps your doors open, or they're gonna take lessons with you. But there's something to say just about being appreciative that we are musicians and that we like playing music, and so that drummer's breakfast was a huge deal. Yeah. And if you don't think that every one of them didn't share it on their social media, they did.
Oh, yeah,
they were all
absolutely.
taking pictures of everybody. Hey, I haven't seen you forever. They're talking about little gigs and old things and things that happened. And there were kids there. There were adults there. There was a 90-year-old drummer who started the whole thing in our town there.
Yeah.
90 years old. His name's Johnny Roy. He taught my dad to play. He taught my brother to play. And Johnny Roy was in our store. And every musician, you know, he's my dad's the godfather. This guy's the godfather of godfathers.
Yes.
Wow.
And so you realize who's important in your community and who have been there and who are doing it, and show them a little appreciation. I'll guarantee it will change. It'll change everything. You're changing a You're getting to the point to where people matter. Look, Nate, you treat me really good, and you will call me and say some crazy crap on the phone to me, or you'll text me something. Now, here's the thing: I know that you want me to buy guitars from you, right? It's your livelihood. You're married. You got kids. You like to go to Florida.
I do.
And I know that about you. And so, even sometimes when I don't need something, I'll go, hey, I think I'll take a couple of these or a few of these, because I know it's going to help you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think if you've been so good to me as a person, like and we gravitate towards people that we like, Dave Clow.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird thing that Dave Clow, who makes some of the coolest educational products out there,
Yes.
I sell his. I don't let a person walk out their door practically without one of his, or at least show them and say, if you learn these 14 chords, you'll play 99% of every song you've ever heard. Side one of his chart alone, if you learn that, you could play music the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And so his educational material, but that's not what happened with him. He and I met each other, and it was over Spinal Tap.
Yeah, it was a Spinal Tap concert in LA, right?
We went someplace. We were at a party at one of the things, and we just kind of started talking. And I said, well, I got to go. I'm going to go see Spinal Tap. He's like, Spinal Tap? Like they played 2 times in their life, right?
Sure.
And I saw them both times. And I said, yeah, you want to go? I got an extra ticket. Instant friends.
Yeah.
You know, but then I found out how great Dave Clow is about what he's doing, how much he cares about people and cares about what he does, how he wants people to learn to play the stuff. And so he is my guy.
Yeah, sure.
You're my guy. This company becomes my people. And I wish I could give you even more money just so you could go on another vacation.
Man, that'd be great.
He can. We got credit card machines up.
Yeah, and I'll say there's been times too before where Mike's like, we actually don't really need anything right now, but we're going to buy stuff from you because we love you.
Yeah, I know.
They've said you've been very brutally honest.
Let me
about
tell you
that.
this, and we'll try to look through the cracks of what we could get that would be good.
So if I could get all of my clients to that point where they just buy stuff
All
because
right,
they
you
love
guys are
me.
making me tear up.
I don't none of that.
Let's do a power round,
Go ahead.
and
I don't
what
know
I
what that
mean by
means.
that is I'm going to ask questions and just quick
go.
responses. These are from again the people that we have in here, and there's some great questions.
Yes.
How big or important is your lesson program?
Big and very important.
But give
Sure,
us a little
350, 400 people probably.
more. Wow.
I have one guy that's taking it on as he's educational director kind of guy. Yeah, it's important.
Okay.
I just think here's the thing. It's just like this. If you educate people, they'll stay with you forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just really will. They'll care. They'll stay with you forever, especially if you care about them. But the fact is, if you can educate them, they'll stay. And I think selling, we're not into that. We're just not into selling you that. We want you to have that experience of, lessons and understanding how to be better at what you're doing. I'll even go to pros and say, "You take lessons?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Do you take lessons? You take guitar lessons anymore? Are you doing that?" I haven't done that since I was a kid. I go, "Why not? I mean, do you want to be even better than you are?" I have a guy who teaches classical guitar who could take you on another, And so I'm trying to even put that in the minds of people who think they're already too good to be doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
All right. What percentage of your store is used / refurbished versus new?
50-50.
Interesting.
I am 50% MIRC and used and 50% new. I started off as nothing but MIRC.
Yeah.
So when I restarted the store, I literally started from scratch. I had a set of strings on the wall because when I bought the store, I only bought the fixtures of the store. I had no gear in my store. I had the lesson program going on, and then Mom's Music took all the gear. So I literally had a set of strings on the wall. And so we started from there. And then I made a deal with you guys that I wanted to have, here was the key, I wanted to have lots of brands on the wall. And I started off calling them better than new used instruments. Right?
That's great.
And better than new used instruments meant that, well, I can't sell as new, right? Because it's not a new product. It is a refurbished unit. But to me, what you guys do to them, and by the time I get it, these things play great.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about resetting the thing up, and I have to do that on most manufacturers. So they come in, they play great, they work great. I stick it on the wall.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. Plus, it gave me a lot of brand names. So using MIRC, another commercial for you guys, and the fact is that it made me look like I was somebody when I wasn't anybody.
Yeah.
Meaning that you walked in and you saw there was a guild, There was some kind of Fender or Squire piece,
Alvarez and Ibanez
Epiphone and Alvarez, and I just Talkmania. There were all these brand names that I had on the wall, and so it really was wow. As we built, it took us time. We had to really kind of build it up. And then I kind of did a big buy-in, a little bit more when we really did the hard opening of the Maxwell's House of Music. And so I am 50-50 still to this day. Yeah. I think it's really important. I kind of have 3 tiers, and I have 3 tags in my store. So you can find a yellow tag, it's used. If it's a red tag, it's an MIRC piece. And if it's a blue tag, it's a new piece.
Okay.
So that's how you can go through our store and go, hey, I know the difference.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to do a purple tag, too, that's going to be consignments, because we're doing a few consignments here and there. And so we'll have another tag that'll be, and my guy will know that they really can't do anything on the price or help out in any other way because that's a consignment. Yeah. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I like your tag system.
The tag system's been really good, and you walk in and there's a chart that shows the yellow tag,
and
it shows the red tag, and it says the blue tag, and it says exactly what it is, and it even tells the warranty information on each one.
Wow,
30 days warranty here, 1 year warranty, because we do that with MIRC products. We hold the warranty.
We have several people that do that. That's excellent.
And then we have the blue tag, which is our new product, and then that says whatever the manufacturer's warranty is on it. And then with the purple tag, we won't be able to do that. It's just a consignment, and there's no warranty. So I like that.
Do you sell online?
I probably ought to. I don't.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm not very good at this business thing. I'm just being honest with you. Mm-hmm. I wish that somebody'd come over to my store and knew what they were doing. Man, it'd be amazing. Yeah. It would be because we
this is a one ad placement right here.
Yeah, it's a one ad. If you really know how to make an online thing work, could just come around my store. You can have it. Just make sure that I get a paycheck every month, or week, or whatever.
Oh, it has to be profitable. Yeah. Huh.
Well, I think it's got to survive. No, I wish we were doing online stuff, but I got to be honest with you, I'm not.
Not yet.
No, and you can say not yet. I have no plans for it. And I know it's a dumbass move, but to be honest with you,
you're in a unique position though that you've had so much success doing all the things that we just got done talking about. You've never been necessarily forced in that situation.
I know.
Would it be wise to do it? Sure,
it would be. I could sell a whole lot more product. Mm-hmm. It's the truth. If you get your online presence together, you can make a lot of money. There's guys in town that are doing really well with that.
Hey.
It's just never been my thing. Yeah. I don't really want to think about that part of it, numbers, and I just don't want to. I want to care. I want people. I like people.
That's right. Some people sell online. Some people are voracious songwriters. So,
This next question, I'm just going to
go.
Ask,
this is now
you're not
going to
answer
people.
it because
2 people. Go ahead.
Just because you're not going to be able to answer this. How do you recommend retail stores use online to increase retail foot traffic?
I think
is going to answer.
I'm going to answer this. I know how to do it. I just don't want to do it.
Okay.
So I know how to do it.
Fair enough.
Be crazy. Make people want to watch your social media stuff. If I was going to,
which you guys do, I've seen a lot of your videos.
I am in a very, I'm in a pretty popular band in Louisville, right? And our social media is really good. Mm-hmm. So I know how to do it, and I've even hired people in the spots to do so. I just don't take part of it. It's not in me. So you're asking the wrong guy, but I know how it works because I've studied a lot. Matter of fact, there's a podcast that I did last week or 2 weeks ago in Nashville that I think is really good. That if you're a musician, it's called The Climb. And it's C.L.I.M.B. It's an acronym for something. But this podcast is about musicians being better at doing their social media.
Oh, okay.
And it's really an interesting podcast.
It really has become a key in all of that. It needs to be part of infrastructure.
It really does. And so I think, I don't know what happens. There's sometimes that people go, you seen what they did on your Facebook? I don't have Facebook. I'm an old guy. I just don't do any of that stuff. But I definitely pull people around me who do.
Yeah, sure.
So those guys do it. And so when they're filming something stupid, and I walk by and go,
yeah, I mean, some are pretty creative, though.
They are pretty creative. I'll go, what in the world is going on?
Actually, yeah, one time, Mike goes, yeah, Mark just yelled at us for doing that. And I said, I thought it was a really good video.
I just didn't understand it. And so when you don't understand
You
something...
felt like your dad for a minute.
Oh, no,
right?
no. I do feel like my dad all the time.
Yeah.
I really do. I really am the old guy of our store. And so everybody else is younger than me. And so I just let them do what they want. I just say, listen, keep it PG. You know, don't ever go crazier than that. But you can do anything you want to do. Yeah. If you think people are going to watch this, and I always tell them, you know, I'm always making about, I'll say, hey, you know, get this new piece or this new piece or this piece. And I do try to say, hey, like, just make it fun. Make it fun so that they know that you're a really great human being and they want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would do.
What was
Awesome.
what was the video about that had like the M16, the guns? What company is that?
I don't know.
They were guitars shaped like guns, and so they did this whole video where they were jumping out of the bushes, like shooting at each other with these guitars shaped like guns. I thought
here's what I do.
I thought that was creative.
Here's what I'll do at NAMM
with
tomorrow.
all the music in the background.
Tomorrow at NAMM, here's what I'll do. I walk through NAMM in Nashville, and I walk through, I could do the same thing in California, and I go to the least of these, I call it, booths. The booths that, you know, these guys are trying something new and crazy.
Yeah.
And so I'll go to that booth, and I'll look at their product, and I'll go, ain't nobody ever going to buy this. I got to buy one.
Yeah.
And I'll buy it. I'll buy it and put it in the store. And there are things in my store that are 10 years old.
That's why Mark doesn't buy
old.
100% MIRC.
Yeah, that's true.
50% of it's machine guns in his store.
But here's the thing: who's going to buy one of those, right? And I'm thinking, hey, I sold 2.
Did you really?
I sold 2 of those machine gun guitars, and they were cheap guitars, but they were just kind of weird and kind of crazy. I bought a lot of things like that, so I always go and find something that I bring in that no one's ever seen before.
That's unbelievable.
Because if I'm standing at the NAMM show and I walk by and go, look at that, then don't you think somebody else
is
store
gonna
and
do it
go,
too.
look at that?
Yeah.
So I bought things you would not believe.
See, but when I say that the NAMM shows, usually it's like a 9-neck guitar or something like that.
Yeah.
That nobody would actually buy. Except for Steve Vai or something.
Well, and I'm not saying that anybody's going to buy it either. Sometimes I buy it just to put it on display.
Yeah.
And
get attention.
I do. It's like walking down your hallway. Yeah. When you say something's not for sale, what does everybody want to do? They walk down your hallway here. Yeah. That hallway gets me every time. I hate walking that hallway because there's 10 guitars hanging there, and I want every one of them, and they're not for sale.
Yeah.
Now, do you realize what you can create by putting not for sale on something? I mean, literally, the second you say that is not for sale, someone's standing there going with their wallet.
How much?
How much you got to have?
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, we're gonna start wrapping this up, but let's close it with this.
He's gonna try to sell you guitars down the hall.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right. Let's talk in just a couple minutes.
Go ahead.
But what's I would say 3, but maybe we need to wrap things up. What's the one thing, if you could tell anybody who is either starting a music store or running a music store right now, and they came to you for advice, what's the one thing you would say that they need to be doing?
Don't do it.
The music store?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't start a music store.
Go on vacation?
Listen, no.
Be a doctor.
Listen, if they, that's right. I would be anything else but run a music store. But I'll tell you right now, if they wanted to run a music store and they really want to do it, just love it. And that's it. I think if somebody came to me and said, I want to do a music store, I'd say, can you imagine this is not easy. It's not an easy road. But either you love doing this or you don't love doing it. And like my dad said, if you're not having a good time, go do something else.
Yeah.
And so don't start something you think is going to be a great thing. You got to have a passion for this. You have to have a passion for people and gear. I love gear. I love guitars.
I love people too.
But I love people too. And so it's a 50-50 split with me. I love going to the store because there's new gear and great gear. But I love the fact there's people there. And so if you don't like people, don't get in a music store. Do an online thing. If you love gear, just do an online thing.
Yeah.
But if you love people, that's my problem, is that I'm 90% people and 10% selling gear sometimes. Yeah. My guys have to remind me that, hey, this is about selling a piece of gear, Mark. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I just figured they'll do it anyway. And they do.
Yeah.
I've survived through the worst of... I think it's only going to get better from here. I do believe that music stores are on the rise.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm going to tell you right now, especially if you care. And so I believe, my mom and dad, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, we believe it's only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So if we go with that mindset, we're going to win. In my opinion, we've already won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The positivity this year is actually, you can feel it.
Yeah.
Richard came back from NAM in the winter NAM and said, "My gosh,
It was awesome.
It's a big turnaround. People are
Yes.
excited."
Yeah,
So-
and then let me tell you this. What's the difference? It's this.
Yeah.
It is this. It is. It just, man. If you can change your mind anytime you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to be positive from this day out. For the rest of the day, I'm not going to be negative in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to be positive with everybody comes in. I don't care what happens. Somebody craps on my floor, I'm going to be positive.
Or in the
about it.
toilet.
Or in
Yeah.
the toilet.
Hey, I
at my
actually-
store on top of the candy, I would have to get rid of that.
I
entire
watched a
thing.
kid pee in a toilet at Home Depot one time. That was funny. Somebody was running over there trying to get the kid to stop. And he was committed.
I would have laughed.
He was
That would
already
have been
committed.
awesome.
So.
I'd have high-fived him.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's kind of funny. But dude, hey man, we appreciate this. We could
Yes.
talk for another hour, but I realize
We've got
we
a
gotta-
million more questions, so we'll have to do this again in
Yeah.
Maybe
several
another year or
months.
two, you know. Maybe I'll come back and tell you where it's
I was
all
thinking
awesome.
closer towards Christmas or something, a year or two.
Yeah, a year or
Thought
two,
he liked
man.
us a little more.
I hate this stuff. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
All right.
But I love MIRC. Not you guys,
Yes.
but MIRC.
We understand.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it for the last time.
So. All right. Well, hey.
Honestly, I learned a lot. I think you have a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate learning from you. So, again, we have a lot we can ask, and I want to do it again.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll want to do it again, and
Yeah.
if so, we can ask a ton more questions because I think you can teach and help a lot of dealers, and that's important to us.
Yeah, educate.
Yes.
Educate yourself. It's the only thing you can do. And this podcast is really, I mean, it's unique. When I heard you were going to do this and then I listened, I thought, what? Why hasn't this been done?
Yeah, same question.
Yeah.
Why
Same
has this
question.
not been done?
So,
Hey,
but
more importantly, we got a gift for you. So
Yes.
here-
yay! And if anybody wants to check out your place, man, go to maxwellshouseofmusic.com, right?
You have your own T-shirts.
Heck
made.
yeah.
Heck yeah! In fact, I was
Unbelievable.
gonna
Music
wear them all.
retail show.
Thank you.
And they're
very much.
comfortable.
Hey,
They feel
Yes,
really good.
they're
actually.
good shirts.
yeah,
We appreciate you,
maxwellshouseofmusic.com. People
Yeah.
can kind of check out what you guys do.
Yeah,
what it
I don't
looks
even know.
like,
I've
and-
never been on it, so I don't really know what.
Why are we not surprised?
Don't be surprised of that. There's somebody else that needs to care about that.
Yeah.
All I care about is the person that walks in my door or a person that calls me on the phone.
Yeah.
And the person on the phone, I'm going to say, hey, why don't you come down, let's talk.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to sit with you in the multiple amount of chairs that I have, and we need to have a conversation about what it is you want.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
end of the day, you just, what do you want? How can I get you there?
Yeah, that's good.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, thank you.